At Zhang Enterprises, quarterly investor meetings were always more of a performance than a presentation, but today was different. My brother Kevin had assembled the board to unveil his new tech venture fund, and my father had insisted I be there. A front row seat to watch real success, I assumed. I sat quietly at the back of the conference room, laptop open, making last-minute tweaks to my game's code. Kevin stood at the front, sharp in a custom-tailored suit, commanding attention like he always did. What none of them knew, while they debated blockchain and enterprise software, was that my silly phone game had just surpassed 50 million downloads. Kevin gestured toward a massive PowerPoint slide. Our new fund, he announced, will focus on serious technology, enterprise software, blockchain, real innovation, not consumer distractions like mobile games. Several board members nodded in approval. My father, the CEO, looked on with open pride. I kept typing, stifling a grin as another alert popped up. Meeting confirmed. Microsoft Gaming Division tomorrow. Then my father's voice sliced through my focus. Emily, he said sharply, since you decided to grace us with your presence, care to share what's so important on that laptop? All eyes turned. Kevin's smirk told me exactly what was coming, his favorite sport, mocking the black sheep with the wasted Stanford degree. Just working on my game, I said, barely looking up. Yes, Kevin sneered. Emily's little foam game. How many players now? 10. 20. I could have told them about the millions of active users. The AI narrative engine I built that was transforming mobile gaming. The bidding war happening behind closed doors. But instead, I simply replied, it's doing well. My father scoffed. You live in our pool house, coding like a teenager. Meanwhile, your brother is managing billion-dollar deals. It's time you join the real business world. There was a tense silence. The board had seen the scene before, the golden son, the eccentric daughter, the disapproving patriarch. Actually, I began, but Kevin cut me off. Let me explain something, little sister. He strolled over and shut my laptop. While you're busy playing with cartoon characters, I'm launching a $200 million fund. In fact, we're meeting with Microsoft next week for a major investment. I raised an eyebrow. Microsoft? Yes, Microsoft, he said, clearly enjoying himself. But I don't expect you to understand enterprise deals. My phone buzzed. An email from Microsoft's head of gaming. Final offer approved. $150 million cash, $50 million earn-out. Deal announcement tomorrow. Bonus if we launch early. Your AI engine is exactly what we need. Kevin was still talking when my father interrupted. It's time for a leadership shift. Kevin will take over as CEO next month. He turned to me. And Emily, we found you a fitting role in HR. Somewhere you won't embarrass the family with your hobbies. The room applauded politely. Kevin adjusted his tie, basking in his impending coronation. Just then, my phone buzzed again. A news alert from TechCrunch. Microsoft to acquire AI gaming studio in $150 million deal. The headline stopped Kevin cold. His eyes scanned the article. My father's pen slipped from his hand and clattered onto the table. Emily, Kevin's voice cracked. Why does this mention an AI gaming engine exactly like yours? I opened my laptop again and turned it to face the room. On the screen, Microsoft's email, complete with logo. Dear Ms. Zhang, I read aloud. Following our technical review, Microsoft Gaming is pleased to confirm our final acquisition offer. Kevin lunged for my laptop. This has to be a joke. You make phone games in the pool house. Actually, I said, glancing at the stunned board members, I developed an AI engine that dynamically generates personalized game narratives. That phone game you mocked? It's redefining interactive entertainment. My father had gone pale. But you never told us. You never asked, I replied. You were too busy planning Kevin's promotion. I pulled up another email. Also, Microsoft's enterprise division wanted me to pass along a message about next week's meeting. Kevin looked like he might pass out. In light of our acquisition of Zhang's gaming studio, I read, we'll need to postpone discussions with Zhang Enterprises. Your current proposal has been deemed outdated. Outdated? Kevin choked. My team spent months on that. Funny how things work out, I said, closing my laptop. I smiled as I opened my presentation folder. Since we're all here, I said, voice steady, Let me show you what a silly foam game really looks like. The next 30 minutes were pure vindication. I walked the board through a live demo of my AI engine. They watched, stunned, as the game generated unique, adaptive storylines for each player, learning from their decisions in real time. Then came the numbers. 50 million downloads, I said, clicking to the next slide. 98% retention rate. $5 million in daily revenue. Someone actually gasped. But you live in our pool house, someone whispered, still clinging to the illusion. Kevin, of course, couldn't let it go. And you drive a used Honda? I smiled. Because I reinvested every dollar into development. I don't need Italian suits to prove I belong in the room. My phone buzzed. Another message from Microsoft. News is leaking. Market reaction strong. Stock already up 3%. You need to announce now. That reminded me. Oh, and one more thing, I said, turning back to the board. As Microsoft's newest strategic partner, I've just acquired a significant stake in Jang Enterprises. My father's fountain pen clattered against the mahogany table for the second time that day. What? He asked, breathless. Remember last year? I said, when Kevin's brilliant cryptocurrency play nearly bankrupted the company. You needed emergency funding. I provided it, quietly, through a holding company. I now own 12% of Jang Enterprises. The room went still. Heads turned between me and my father like spectators at a tennis match. And since we're talking about company leadership, I continued smoothly, I have a few concerns about the new CEO appointment. Kevin shifted in his chair. I've prepared an analysis of Kevin's investment performance, actual returns, adjusted for market conditions. Would anyone like to see it? Kevin tugged at his collar. Now, wait a minute. Or, I said, we could discuss the enterprise software division. According to Microsoft's due diligence, your stack is, well, ancient. My father finally found his voice. Emily, you can't just walk in here and... Actually, I can, I replied. As a major shareholder, I have the right to call for a vote of no confidence. Unless... Kevin's eyes narrowed. Unless what? I closed my laptop gently. Unless we agree to some changes. The room was silent. I counted off on my fingers. First, the pool house becomes a fully funded tech incubator for young developers, sponsored by Jang Enterprises. My father gave a reluctant nod. Second, we establish a STEM scholarship for women in gaming and AI. The press release goes out tomorrow. More nods. And third, I smiled at Kevin, we'll be reorganizing the enterprise software division. I hear HR has a few openings. The aftermath was glorious. The Microsoft acquisition made international headlines. Gaming Prodigy sells AI engine for $200 million, ran alongside. Jang Enterprises Air revolutionizes gaming industry. Kevin's stunned face in the background of my Microsoft signing photos. Iconic. The pool house. Now a buzzing incubator filled with young developers who remind me of myself. Last week, a teenage girl pitched me an AI-driven educational game. Her parents thought she was wasting her time. I wrote her a check on the spot. My father still doesn't quite understand how his game-playing daughter outmaneuvered his business-savvy son, but he's learning. Last month, he asked me to explain how AI works. Kevin, he's adjusting in HR. Turns out, managing vacation requests is a little different than billion-dollar deals. Yesterday, Microsoft's gaming chief called again. They're acquiring another studio. The founder, that same teenage girl from my incubator, her game's already at 10 million downloads. I smiled. For every scrappy developer out there chasing dreams while others laugh, remember, success is the best revenge. But helping others succeed? That's priceless. Especially when your brother has to process their HR paperwork.